Well, hello. How are you doing this morning, afternoon, evening, night? Whatever time of day it currently is for you on this planet. For today's video, I have work horror stories, a few instances that I want to share. But first, let us go ahead and discover who the universe has chosen for today's opponent. So, yeah, few work horror stories that I wanted to share. My first ever job was at a pizza place, and it was actually like Chipotle style. So all the ingredients you get to choose, go down the line of ingredients and choose what you want on your pizza. So that was my first ever job. And the first manager at the job was really cool. He was a good manager, fun to work with. But he quit, and another manager came in. He was not so pleasant. I mentioned him in a recent video. I'll link that one at the end. But yeah, he was not so pleasant. The first thing that was not so pleasant was he hired his wife. Right? We were making only about $8 an hour. He hired his wife, and she was making around $15 an hour. Literally not even doing anything. Just sitting in the kitchen on her phone. Not ideal. So that was one part. The other thing was one day the manager lit the oven on fire. Right. Thankfully, it didn't go. Nothing too crazy happened. Right. But the manager dumped a bucket of flour in the pizza oven, trying to clean it, I guess. I don't know why I did that move. That was not a smart move. That was not a good move by me. What am I doing? Okay, well, I think I can win this pawn back, so I'm not too concerned. It definitely is not ideal, though, because now I got a lot of bad stuff coming for me if my opponent capitalizes on that stuff, which it does seem like they are, but we're not out of this one just yet. So yeah, manager trying to clean the oven. I don't know what flour does. I guess it helps clean the oven, but the entire oven lit on fire, and we were all looking like, what is he doing? And I did record it, but I don't have that video any longer. It was on Snapchat. I deleted Snapchat a long time ago. And I recommend everyone else to delete Snapchat as well. Anyways, what do I do here? Okay, so you're threatening to open. You're threatening this pawn right here, so I need a way to defend that. And I think this is decent. It can't be the worst move of all time, so let's see what happens. So that was the few horror stories at the pizza place. Now, the craziest work horror story for me was when I worked at Petco. Petco was my third ever job. And it was about like a few months in, right? I was kind of new to everything. And we are going to win material here. I was kind of new to everything. And one day, some guy wanted an anemone, right? It's like the Finding Nemo thing. And I could have sworn that I saw my boss. Ooh, I was about to go here, but that would have not been good for me. Would it have been? Would it? I think I like this move right here. This move's decent. I had never, so at Petco, like, you can buy anemones for your saltwater tank, right? And a lot of the times the anemones are like grown into rocks. And I didn't know that you had to sell the rock with the anemone, right? I could have sworn I saw my boss trying to pull the anemone when he was selling an anemone to a customer. I could have sworn I could have sworn I saw him trying to pull out the anemone of the rock, but he wasn't. He was actually, and well, he put the rock with the anemone in the bag, and I was like, oh well, he probably just couldn't get it out of the rock, so he just was like, forget it, I'm gonna put it all into one bag. And that's actually what you're supposed to do, and I didn't know that. So one day, a customer asked me, hey, I want to buy an anemone. I was like, okay, I got this. I've seen how it's supposed to be done. Well, unfortunately, I did not know, because I tried to pull the anemone out of the rock, and what that does is actually kill the anemone, because once they've grown into the rock, that's their permanent place. Like, they become the rock and you can't pull it, right? So the customer is right beside me. I'm pulling on the anemone and I see the tentacles turn gray. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen. I'm pretty sure when life turns gray, it's dead. So I'm like, oh. And it kind of like deflated. I'm like, oh, wow, I just killed this thing. And the customer is right beside me looking at everything that's going on. And I'm like, and I'm actually like, sir, I point to another anemone. I'm like, you know what? I like that one. I think you should get that one. And he's like, no, I want that one. And I'm like, oh gosh, what do I do now? I just killed this thing. And I don't know what to do. So I call one of my bosses over. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I just killed this thing. And he's like, yeah, it does look like you did. And he's asking the customer some things, and the customer is really adamant on buying the one he chose, rightfully so. So my manager just sell it to him. And that's what we did. It might sound not as intense as it actually was, because it was intense. Like, the dude is staring at me while I'm killing the animal, and I have no idea what to do, right? It was something. And we also find this move right here, putting the fork onto the king and the queen, and we are going to win this queen. Because the pawn cannot take here, because the king isn't to check. And our chances of winning this game have shot up dramatically. So yeah, those are my work horror stories. If you've got any work horror stories, share them in the comments below. Some other work horror story, since I have enough time to say another story. Well, it's not really one story, but I worked at a car wash, which was my favorite job ever, the most chill job ever. But a lot of times at car washes, there are people who, like, when you work at a car wash, you realize how many bad drivers there are. Like, it was an automatic car wash, so you just wave them on through. Like, one time, some dude literally were waving him through, and he just drove his car into the wall. Like, okay. And other times, like, the machine would sometimes not work properly, and it would break people's uh, windshields. People would be ramming into the backs of other people's cars. Just a lot of crazy stuff, you know. Okay, so my opponent is trying to do a last desperate ditch attempt and queen this pawn, but I'm not gonna allow that one to happen. Not gonna allow that one to happen. I can probably somehow checkmate my opponent here. Bring my knight and my queen. I am coming for you, and your queen and your king should be very, very scared, my friend. Hey, respect my opponent. They're doing everything they can, but not gonna be enough. And just to be safe, I'm gonna make 2 queens because safety is number 1 priority. I swear if I stalemate here, that would be tragic, to say the least. Okay, pretty straightforward from here on out. And we get the job done. Well, my opponent, APT Zold, I don't know, fought to the end, but get defeated in a very violent way. Anyways, yes, those are a few of my work horror stories. And again, if you have had any work stories of yourself that you'd like to share, please tell me about it in the comments below. Other than that, that's all I got. I hope you have found peace in your day, and I'll see you in the next one.